Hey guys, it's Aisha. After hearing the news this week about abortion being legal up to any time before birth, I decided to go out and buy this pin. It's called Precious Feet, and it's just something you could wear to show your support for the unborn children that are having their rights taken away right now. I'm really upset. I don't like abortion in general, but this news really upset me because I just got out of a developmental biology class and I learned exactly what happens during the developmental process and all that the body does so that this human being could live. And like, if certain genes fail, other genes step in, and it's just so complex. And I think it's just a beautiful thing. And to to kill a baby at 9 months is ridiculous. Is I think extreme, and people are acting like this is normal. People aren't even upset about this. People are saying, well, the woman has the right. People are around the streets cheering and celebrating this as if this is a good thing, that women have the right to kill a baby anytime before birth in New York City. And I mean in New York State at least. Um yeah, I think it's tragic. I mean, I don't know about you, but it doesn't make me feel more free as a woman because I have the right to kill my child. I'm all for like women rights and equality. Duh, I'm a woman, but like having the right to do that is not gonna put me on an equal playing field with a man. I'm all about like equal pay and like being able to do the same jobs that a guy does, and women should have a role in sports. There should be a women's football association right now, but there's not. And I'm all for that, but having the right to kill my child, I don't see how that makes me more free as a woman. And I think everyone wants to talk about women's rights, but no one wants to talk about human rights. Because who's to say that that woman is more valuable than the baby? Who's to say that a baby is more valuable after 6 months versus at 5 months? Because guess what? We were all at one point a zygote, which is the fusion of an egg and a sperm. That's where we all start out. That's when a new individual is created, and that's got nothing to do with religion. That's scientific. You get your own DNA, you have your own genetic code, your own blood type. If left alone, you'll develop into a full human being, a fully developed human being. But who's to say that you don't have any rights when you're at that stage? I know that laws are passed, but I don't have to agree with them. Deep down in my heart, I think that everyone has the right to live from the moment you're a zygote, because that's where we all start. That's where human beings start. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm pretty sure you're grateful to be here and be watching this video. What if someone took that right away from you to even exist? I'm not talking to rape victims right now, but even in that case, like, the baby didn't do anything to deserve death. And I know it's more complex, it's very sensitive. I don't want to be insensitive, but at the end of the day, the baby didn't commit a crime. So, I'm all for adoption. I'm all for, abortion alternatives, and helping, young mothers that feel like they don't have any support to take care of their kids. But at the end of the day, people should have the right to live. And it upsets me that we are celebrating being able to kill 9-month-old babies. A 9-month-old baby is big. Okay, at 9 months, I mean, the thing is rolling around, kicking, hiccuping. I mean, definitely can feel pain. I don't know how they're going to go about the abortion procedure. I don't know if they're going to do the partial birth abortion, which is horrible. The baby is basically, I think that comes out feet first, and before the head comes out, they basically stab it in the back of the neck, stab the baby in the back of their neck, and kills the baby before. They keep the head inside so that you can't hear the baby cry or scream. That was a partial birth abortion. I don't know if they plan on doing that. I don't know if they plan on injecting something into the baby's system to kill it that way, but it just makes me sad. I am a Christian and I do have biblical beliefs. I think that even if you're not a Christian and if you're not religious at all, at least, knowing that another human being is dying who didn't do anything to deserve death should just be wrong. But that's besides the point. Speaking from the Christian perspective, it reminds me of when Moses was, I'm sorry, not Moses. Yeah, Moses' day, when Pharaoh wanted to kill all the firstborn children, and no, let me get my facts straight. Pharaoh wanted to kill, I think it was all the male children under 2 or something like that, and Moses escaped. And even in Jesus' day, Herod was trying to kill all the kids, all the young boys, because he didn't want the Messiah to come, and Jesus came anyway. In my generation, it's they're just killing babies before they even come out the womb. And it's just tragic. It's a sad thing. I don't think it's something that we should be celebrating. I don't think it makes me more of a woman, more of a freer woman. I don't think it gives me more choices, because to be honest, I can choose to lie down and have sex with a guy right now and get pregnant. I have unprotected sex and get pregnant. And that's my choice. Knowing that makes life. Knowing that that's where babies come from. And if I choose to do that, then I should have to deal with the repercussions of that, because I'm a smart human being. I know what happens when I have unprotected sex. I have a baby. Babies come that way. That's not a secret. You know what I'm saying? It's not oh no, I just mysteriously got pregnant. I should have the right to abort my baby. I shouldn't be forced to be pregnant. I shouldn't be forced to have a kid. Whoa. No one's forcing you to have a kid, but no one forced you to go out there and have sex, because that's where kids come from. I think we do have a choice in how we choose to use our bodies. Whether you're on birth control, whether you use condoms, there are ways out there to prevent the sperm from fusing with the egg and creating a whole new individual. But I think it's really selfish for someone to just go out and have unprotected sex, knowing that's where babies come from, and then just be oh, well, I'm just going to get an abortion to avoid all that. You're affecting someone else's life because you want the right to live, that foolish. That's my rant. I'm really upset about it. I wish I was a better oral presenter, but I'm not. I just had to get it out, because too many people are acting like this is normal. Too many people aren't upset about this. And I feel like I'm not even as upset as I should be, because our culture has been so desensitized to this. The idea of an unborn child being killed, having their life taken away. That sucks. I wouldn't want that to happen to me, and I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad I'm here. Even if my mom was poor. My mom had me at 16, so she didn't have me under the best of circumstances. She had to work hard to finish school, and thank God she had help from my grandma, my aunts. But, we had to struggle. But I would rather be alive and struggling than someone to make a choice for me and say, well, you're just going to be dead because that's better off for you. So many people have an abortion because they're oh, I'm just going to bring this baby into this world and I'm not going to be able to support it. It's going to struggle. We're going to be poor. Why make someone go through all of that if you could just abort it? Do you know how many poor people are alive and kicking, and they appreciate life every single day because they have an opportunity to live? They appreciate every meal. Imagine if someone just went up to them and say, well, you're better off dead. Wouldn't you rather be dead? There's so many people who are poor and appreciate the fact that they're alive. And it shouldn't be in the hands of someone else to say whether you should, have the opportunity to fight for your life or not. Knowing all that it's going to come with, people should just have the right to live. That's in my opinion, that is the most basic right that you should have. To be alive. To be left alone, to be alive. Make your own choices. We all have to deal with the cards that life deals us. We all have our own choices to make. We all have to learn how to cope with the life that we're given. Um, babies, unborn babies, these babies that are being aborted should be given the same choice. And we're taking that away from them. And it's real easy to make this about women, and really easy to not talk about them because they can't speak for themselves. You know, and there are actually abortion survivors out there who are speaking up and saying, I'm glad that the abortion failed. I'm glad to be here. And they're very, I'll use the term pro-choice, but, you know, people get upset about that because it makes it seem like the other side is pro-life. The terms, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. People who have survived abortions are very, very pro-life or very against abortions because, you know, it threatened their life. But yeah, these unborn babies can't speak for themselves. It's really easy for me to get up here and say what should be happening to them and whether they should live or not because I have a mouth and I'm outside of the womb, but they're in there and they're developing. Obviously, if we look at it at an quote-unquote evolutionary perspective, they're trying to live because they're still, you know, developing, and the cells are dividing and they're becoming more specialized and they're going to where they have to go, and the backbone is developing and the brain's developing and the fingers and the heart, you know, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, all that stuff is going on. So, you know, they're trying to live and we're stopping that process and making it about women's rights and women's freedoms, and it has nothing to do with that. Because women, we do have our freedoms, we do have our rights, but we need to own up to the fact that we need to be conscious about how we live. We know we have vaginas, we carry babies. Just don't let any man come, you know, have sex with you unprotected and then want to, you know, take it out on this kid, take away their chance at life because you want to live yours the way you want to live it. Own up. Man up, woman. That's my 2 cents.